Data cabling video tutorials by Trevor Petr, installing an RJ45 connector to a Cat5e cable.
Hello, my name is Trevor. During this short video, I'm going to demonstrate how to terminate connectors onto a Cat5e patch cable. First, before I get started, I wanted to talk about the different terminology, components, and punch down style that we're going to be doing. If you take a look at this diagram here, this is referred to as a connector. This is referred to as a jack. So we're going to be doing putting connectors onto a Cat5e cable. The tools I have in front of me, we have a knife, data cabling scissors, small side cutters for data cabling, cable jacket remover, and punch down tool for connectors. We have our data cable, we have our RJ45 connectors, we have our boots, and we have our two different styles that we're going to be doing. Or let me correct myself. We have two different styles. We have the T568B style and we have the T568A style. Today we're going to be doing the T568A style that's most commonly used in Canada. All right, so the very first thing I want to do before I get started, and this is the number one thing that people forget to do, is I'm going to put the boots onto the cable. Make sure your boots go on the correct way. You're going to see the flexible part of the boot that's got to go towards the middle of the cable. Second thing we're going to do is using my cable jacket removing tool. I'm going to take off roughly about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of cable jacket, one full rotation, and the cable jacket comes off. Caution has to be observed because if you over rotate the tool, you could nick into the actual conductors. Now you have these nylon strings. Remove the strings. These strings are typically used for when we have to remove large quantities of cable jacket, as if you were going to be terminating the cable into a data cabling rack. So you could either use your knife or you could use your small side cutters. After that is done, you're going to take both ends and we're going to untwist the conductors so that they are all separate. And then after they're untwisted, then I'm going to take some time to organize them in the pattern that's according to the 568A style. I like to put a little bit of bend on the cable and that straightens everything. So this is the pinout schedule. We're going to be doing the A style pinout, so I'll get rid of the B one. And this is an idea of how you're going to be aligning the different conductors and it's color coded. The first one we're going to go with is the green with white. And then we're going to be doing the green. And you got to line all these up in order. And then we're going to be doing the white with the orange. White and the orange looks very close to the white brown. Sometimes it's hard to get that sorted out. Then we're going to be doing the blue with the white, the orange, the white with the brown, and then the brown. So once you get the color code correct, you're going to try to get the wires as close to possible, and you are going to bend them a little bit up and down to get the bend out, and then you're going to verify the color code. So I'm going to see the white green, the white orange, the blue, the white blue, the orange, the white brown, and the brown. So after we have the wires nice and straight, we have to prep them for the insertion into the connector. We are going to trim off enough conductor so that there's only 13 millimeters, give or take, from the cable jack. So what I like to do is I like to line up my thumb so that it represents 13 millimeters from the jacket effectively to my thumb. And then I'm going to line up my other thumb so that I have a point where I can cut. You're going to cut perpendicular to the conductors. Then you're going to take your connector and you're going to insert the conductors into the connector. Without any of the wires changing alignment, preferably. Once you get your conductors into the connector, you're going to push the cable in so that the jacket goes into the connector so that it is underneath. There's a little bit of a triangular ridge in the connector that you can see. You want the jacket to be pushed far ahead enough that it's going to be underneath that triangular protrusion. So I'm just going to push the jacket a little bit more. Once the wires are lined up, you look at the side and you should be able to see the green wire or the white green wire on the end of the connector. And then on the other side, you should see the brown conductor. You grab your compression tool, and there's only one way to put the connector into the compression tool. You should see where it says 8-pin, not 6-pin, because this is an 8-pin jack. Insert it into the compression tool, push in on the jacket, and you squeeze the compression tool. Slip the boot on, and that's one end of your patch cable completed. Now we're going to do the exact same thing to the next end. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side, and the exact same idea. You're going to line up the wires identically. So you're going to start off with your white, green, and by the way, that's referred to as the tip conductor. The green is the ring conductor. And then you're going to be looking at the white, orange, and then you're going to fish through this until you find the blue. And then the blue, white, and then the orange. And sometimes you have to reorganize these a little bit just so that they sit a bit better. I'm just going to move the brown set around to the back side of the cable. Okay. And then we got white, brown, brown. So again, the order that I'm looking for got a little bit messed up here, so I'm just going to fix this. We should have white, green, green, white, orange, blue, white, blue, orange, white, brown, brown. All right, so that looks good. So now I'm going to put all the conductors so that they're real close together. And then I'm just going to bend it up and down all the way down the length, just to take any of the bends out. And then again, I'm going to align it up so that I have 13 millimeter, roughly about there. That's the maximum amount that you're allowed to untwist. If you untwist more than that, you're going to have signal losses in the patch cord. And then once you're happy where you're going to be cutting, cut the wire perpendicular. And then again, we're going to grab our connector Put our connector on. Okay, so the connector's on. I'm going to push the cable jacket in so that when I crimp this down, I'm crimping on jacket. Again, I should be putting it in properly. I should see the 8P representing 8 pin on the tool. Put the connector in and crimp. And what happens when I crimp it, the blade of the connector is actually cutting into the conductor, and that's what's making the electrical connection. I'm going to put the boot on, and then I'm going to go grab my testing gear and I'm going to test out this patch cable. So this is a wire map testing tool, I should say kit. It comes with a transmitter. This is going to put the signal into the cable, the receiver, and then these are two factory made cable ends, and we would use the factory made cable ends to verify the machine is working properly, the tester is working properly. Also, we would be using these if we wanted to test horizontal cabling where the ends were not connectors but jacks. So I'm not going to need this for this application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my connector, and if you take a look at the transmitter and the receiver, you're going to notice on most of these wire map transmitter receiver combinations that you're going to see multiple ports. You're going to see, and I'll just put this upright, 1, 2, 3 ports for RJ45s. One port is for the 568A USOC style connector, and then the 568B. The receiver is the exact same, 3 ports. Because we terminated according to 568A, we'll use the A ports. So we're going to insert a cable into the A ports. And then you're going to turn your transmitter on, and if the cable was terminated correctly, you should see 1, 2, 3, 4 lighting up in unison on both the receiver and the transmitter. Or not in unison, but in order. 1, 2, 3, 4 on both the transmitter and receiver in green, so that means this cable was terminated properly. Now if you saw a light didn't light up, or something lit up as red, okay, red typically means that you've reversed a couple of the wires. If you see a color that doesn't light up on either the transmitter or the receiver, what that means is when you went to punch down, your wire wasn't in the right spot, and the blade of the connector didn't cut into the wire. And that concludes this video.